percentage increase with qubit education. In this mini lecture, you will increase amounts by a percentage using current knowledge, and you'll use a multiplier to increase amounts by a percentage. So let's start off with a question that you might be able to do. If I put £200 into a bank account with an interest rate of 8%, how much money will I have in there after 1 year? So this one's nice and easy because it's only 1 year, so it's just an interest rate of 8% per year. So I need to find 8% of 200. Well, 1% of 200 is 2, because all I need to do is take off those 2 zeros to find 1%. Okay, I divide it by 100 technically, but I take off the 2 zeros. So it's 2. So because 2 is 1% and I need 8 of them, I times it by 8 to give me 16. So I've made £16, so in total I have my 200 plus my 16, giving me £216. Nice and easy, that one. So what about this one then? You invest some money into a company on the stock market. This company does really well and your stocks increase by 18%. If you invested £330, how much will you get after the stocks have risen? So in this case, we need to find 18% of 330. So to find 10%, we just divide by 10, giving me 33. And then to find 5%, I just half it because 5 is half of 10. So 5% must be half of 33, giving me 16.5. And then I'm going to find 1% because I need 8% in total. So I've got my 10 already. I need 8 in total. So other than my 5, I need another 3. So 1%, I divide this by 100, giving me 3.3. And then I'm just going to times that by 3. Okay, because I need 3 of them. I want 3%. And that gives me 9.9. So I have 3% and 5% and 10%. And that gives me 18. So if I added all those together, it gives me 18. I don't actually need to use the 1 because I just used that to find the 3. So 3 plus 5 plus 10 gives me 18. So I'm just going to add up the numbers that match each one. So 9.9, 16.5 and 33, giving me 59.40 or £59.40. Sorry. So then I'm just going to do my 330, because that's what I had in the beginning, plus my £59.40, giving me £389.40. Okay, so this isn't necessarily a very accurate question. If your stocks had risen by 18% in terms of the stock market, you'd most likely make more money than that, but I'm just saying my money increased by 18%, which means they probably didn't do that well. Okay, so another way of figuring out percentages is to use a multiplier. Now, you might have to use this kind of formula when being asked to work out how much money you would make over a period of years. So your final amount equals your initial amount times the percentage to the power of n. And it looks quite complicated, but the final amount is basically how much you will get in the end. And in formulas, we always put that at the beginning. The initial amount is how much you put in, how much money you invest, or how much money you put into a savings account. Your percentage is the multiplier, but that's like in decimal form. And then your n is to the power of years. Sorry, your n is the number of years. Okay, so it'd be to the power of however many years. And I'll show you that in more detail in a second. Let's have a look at an example question. So I put £200 in the bank with an interest rate of 6% per year. Sorry, that's supposed to say. How much money will I have after 4 years? So let's look at this question in more detail. So here's my formula again, and this is my final amount. This is my initial amount, which would be my £200. This is my percentage as a multiplier, and this would be the 4 years. So this would be the 6%, and this would be the 4 years. Now here is my formula written out again. Obviously we don't know the final amount. My initial amount is the £200 that I put in, and then I've times it by 1.06. The reason it's 1.06 is the 0.06 is the 6%, and the 1 is the fact that I want to find out how much I get in total. So I want to keep my £200 plus my 6% investment. If I just did 200 times 0.06, it would just tell me how much money I would make on top. It wouldn't tell me how much money I make altogether, so it wouldn't actually give me my final amount. So I need to put the 1.06, and also be careful because if I put 0.6, it would be 60%, not 6. So be careful. And then my 4 is the number of years. So let's have a look at that on a calculator. Okay, so I would put my 200 times 1.06 in, and then I would click this button here, okay, and then I would press 4, okay, and my 4 would appear just there. Then I would press equals, and it would tell me that my final amount over the 4 years is £252, and then 495392 pence. So we always have to round it up to 2 decimal places with money. Okay, so 49 would be 50 pence. Okay. Okay, so here is a task for you to do, and then we'll go through it. So pause the video and have a go, and then we'll go through the answers. Okay, if you've paused the video, let's have a look at these then. A man puts £500 into a bank with an interest rate of 3%. How much will it be worth after 5 years? Okay, so this is our formula. So you've got your £500 investment, your 1.03, remember, because we want all of this, plus the 3% to the power of 5. And you should have had an answer of £579.64. Finally, I invest £690 in stocks and shares. After 3 years with an interest rate of 8.5% per year, how much will my initial amount be worth? So I put my 690. Now be careful with this is 8.5%. Now if it's 8.5, if it was 8%, it'd be 1.08, but it's 8.5, so it'd be 1.085. Okay, so just be careful. And then to the power of 3, and you should have had an answer of £881.33. Okay. So here is a stretch and challenge question. It's not really too difficult, it's just that they're bigger numbers. So in 1990, the population of the UK was 57 million. By the year 2014, it had increased by 13%. What was the population in the year 2014? If you would like to pause the video and have a go, you can. And then I'll go through it. Okay, so if you've done that, first of all, I'm going to use my normal method. So what is 1% of 57 million? Well, I just take off 2 zeros. So that gives me 570,000. And then I want to times that by 13, giving me 7,410,000. So if you're going to get a really large question like this, it will be on the calculator paper. So the population in 2014 will be the 57 million plus the 7,410,000, giving me 64,410,000. Now we could have used our multiplier method. Oh, sorry, I'm just going through the fact that this is 64 million, this is our millions, these are our thousands, and these are our like hundreds. Okay, there's no hundreds in there. So we'll just say 64,410,000. Okay, so we could have used our multiplier method, but we just don't need to use n because we don't need it because there's no years. Okay, so the interest rate would be 1.13, okay, because you want the amount that we had in the beginning plus the 13%. And then we don't need the number of years here because it tells us it's increased by 13% in total, not 13% each year. So we don't actually need to use the n section, which is good. So the final amount would be 57 million times 1.13, and that gives us a final answer of 64,410,000. And as you can see, it's the same answer, but it was only one quick multiplication instead of doing all of this working out. Okay, so it's just easier. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, and thank you so much for using Cubit Education, and I hope to see you next time.